Chapter 18. Other afflictions of our Queen, some of which were permitted by the Lord through the agency of creatures and of the ancient serpent. The Most High continued to hide and conceal himself from the Princess of Heaven, and to this affliction, which was the most severe, his Majesty added others in order to increase her merit, her grace, and her reward, thus inflaming more and more the most pure love of the Heavenly Lady. The great dragon and ancient serpent was not unwatchful of the heroic works of the most holy Mary. Although he could not attain to the knowledge of her interior acts, since they were hidden from his view, yet he scrutinized the exterior ones, which were so high and so perfect as to arouse the pride and indignation of that envious fiend, for the purity and the sanctity of the child Mary tormented him beyond all calculation. In his restless fury, he called a conventicle of the infernal leaders in order to consult about the matter with the higher powers of hell. He addressed them as follows: The great triumph which we have until now obtained in the world by the possession of so many souls who are altogether subject to our wills is, I am afraid and anxious, about to be undone and counteracted by a woman. We cannot make light of such a danger, for we have been warned since our creation, and afterward heard the sentence confirmed against us, that the woman shall crush our head. Therefore we must be watchful and discard all carelessness. You have already been notified of a child which was born of Anne, and is growing in age, and is at the same time distinguishing herself in virtue. I have paid careful attention to all her actions and movements, and I have not been able to discover in her the effects of the seeds of malice, which usually begin to show themselves at the dawn of reason, and at the beginning of the activity of the passions in the rest of the children of Adam. I have always seen her composed and most perfect, without being able to incline or induce her to fall into the slightest human imperfections, which are so natural in the other children. On this account I fear lest she be the one chosen as mother of him who is to become man. Yet I cannot convince myself of this, for she was born as the rest of women, and subject to the common laws of nature. Her parents offered prayers and sacrifices in atonement for her and their own sins, and brought her to the temple just like other women. Even if she is not the one chosen as our enemy, her childhood points to great things, and her exquisite virtue and holiness gives promise of still greater things later on. Nor can I bear the prudence and discretion with which she acts in all her affairs. Her wisdom enrages me, her modesty irritates me, her humility annihilates me and oppresses me, and her whole behavior provokes me to unbearable wrath. I abhor her more than all the children of Adam. There is in her a special power which often makes it impossible for me to approach her. If I assail her with suggestions, she does not admit them, and all my efforts in her regard until this hour have been entirely fruitless. Hence, it is important for us all that we find a remedy, and we must make the greatest exertions, lest our power be ruined. I desire the destruction of this soul more than that of all the world. Tell me then, what means and what contrivances must we use in order to overcome her? I will certainly offer high and liberal rewards to anyone who shall accomplish her downfall.